when I do some thinking, I go to the chin. I go to the chin and I think. When I go to the chin, my wife knows some smart stuff is going to come out of this mouth. It's like that famous sculpture, the chin or the thinker, I think it's called. It's like this. That's what I do. I go to the chin. When my kids ask me a question that they need my advice on, I always tell them, hang on here, I got to go to the chin. I don't have to go to the chin to realize why the WNBA continues to lose money this year. Well, they only lost $40 million. That's pretty good, I think. Hey, good for you, man. The whole league is insane. The whole league has certainly broached the idea of keep politics out of sports. The Seattle Storm are next up. The WNBA Seattle Storm have officially announced they are endorsing Kamala, whatever the hell her name is, Harris, the Democratic ticket for president of the United States. How liberal that city and that state is, does it really matter? Here at the Storm, we are advocating for equality and opportunity. We need leaders who fight for us all the time. Kamala Harris, Tim Walz align strongly with our mission and values. We proudly endorse this presidential team. Make your voting plan at vote.org. God bless you, man. I raise a glass to you. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of the gutsiness. The gutsiness. Look, when you are a crazy-ass liberal city and a crazy-ass liberal league, let me ask exactly, when you were through the 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency, Seattle Storm, what didn't you get? What opportunity did you lose? I get it. You guys want to kill babies without saying killing babies. I get it. You don't understand what Roe v. Wade was actually about. I get it. You don't want the states to decide. I get it. You've fallen into the trap. But what opportunity really was lost for the women and the administration and the Seattle Storm back in the day? What opportunity did you not have during those 4 years? What equality did you lose? I don't know. I really don't. I mean, there was nothing that they lost during those 4 years. I tell you what they lost during these 4 years. Well, lost a big part of their city. Chaz set up a tent. I think it was in Seattle. If it wasn't, let's just say it was. I don't care. Liberals took it over. Crime is rampant. The place, Seattle, used to be a city where people wanted to go. Now nobody wants to go there. You lost a lot during these last 4 years, but you're too damn dumb, like most folks in the WNBA, to understand it, aren't you? Look at me. Just look at me. You're too damn dumb. You're too damn involved in women having sex with each other. That's what you are. That's what you're supporting. See, you feel Donald Trump is against the LGTB, ABCDEFG community. That's all it is. Everybody knows that. I mean, that's not hate. That's just your hate. That's your hate for a guy. Because if you look at policies, you would see that Tim Walz has actually supported full-term abortion, i.e. murder, in his own state. But you don't look at that. See, you look at it through blinders. Your team, I guarantee you, the owners made more money during the Trump years than they made these past 4 years. I guarantee you the people of Seattle paid less when they went to the grocery store. But hey, that doesn't matter, because your mission is to kill babies. Your mission is the LGBT, whatever the hell it is, community. We get it. We all get it. Everybody understands it. I mean, you're full of smart people, I would assume. People that own the franchise got to be kind of smart. People that run the franchise got to be kind of smart. People that play for the franchise are morons. People that coach it probably the same. But damn, there's got to be some smart people there that are like, all right, I understand. We got to do this. But how dumb do we look doing it? Well, here's Twitter reaction to the WNBA Seattle Storm endorsement. The party that supports putting men in women's sports. Y'all about to be replaced by delusional dudes. Now, I'm going to stop right there for just a second. See, that's coming. No, that's coming. I mean, if boys are playing high school basketball, transitioning, probably going to be some in women's college basketball. And if there are, there definitely going to be some in the WNBA. I think it would be really interesting. And this is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. if some ex-college guy or guys that decided to transition because it's a cool thing to do now, right? To the weirdos of this world, it's a cool thing. Some actually do it because that's what they feel. Others do it because it's a fad. Long story short, couple dudes that used to play a little bit in college try out. It'd be interesting if the Seattle Storm endorsed that. Certainly would be interesting if the player or players that lost their job endorse that, because that's coming under Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. That's 100% coming. Not coming under Donald Trump, but that's coming. For damn sure that's coming. The WNBA sucks. Nobody watches except when Caitlin Clark is playing, and nobody cares about your politics. You're probably wrong about that. There's a whole crop of lesbians or a whole crop of sluts. Not sluts. Well, maybe sluts. I don't know. Women that want to have abortions. Remember the women that brag about, I've had 15, 18 abortions? My neighborhood, we called them sluts. Your neighborhood, I don't know. Maybe they call them activists. That doesn't seem right. I mean, who brags about killing the fetus of 15 to 18 babies? Weirdos. Crazy people. Sluts is too nice a word. Murderers. No, seriously. When you're having babies to abort them, you're simply a crazy person. But that's the world that we live in. To say nobody cares about their politics would probably be false. I would guess there's a whole community, as I've always said, and the LGTB, ABCD probably hang on every word of former Storm player Sue Bird, who, by the way, I'm telling you, no wonder nobody watches the league. Well, you're idiots who are supporting communism, canceled. Yeah, I don't know. One side's communist, one side's fascist. I don't know about all the name calling, but you're idiots that are supporting idiots. I mean, literally, I was just watching a CNN thing that said Kamala Harris had a one-person debate against herself and lost. Hard to do. No, it really is. It's hard to do. Go F yourselves. It makes sense. You guys exist only on handouts. Boy, is that true. All the bitching, whining, and moaning, all the drama, all the pain in the assery, and it's only available through the good graces of WNBA and the men owners of the governors of the WNBA. We can't say owners. I can't. The freaking owners of WNBA teams. Now, it's true. They only exist on handouts. I thought that was the funniest one. No, I do. All right, let's go to how important this endorsement is or how important this endorsement is not. Sluts! Sluts! I just like the word. What can I tell you? Oh, she's a slut. He's a male slut. Always wanted to be called a male slut, but I'm too ugly. Anyway, a Democratic candidate for president has won the state of Washington since 1988. My God. When Michael Dakich was running against the first Bush. The state went the Republicans' way 72 to 84 with Nixon, Ford, Ronald Reagan twice winning the state. Biden whooped Trump in 20, 58-38. King County, where Seattle is located, Biden-Harris ticket received 75% of the vote in 20. Clinton and Kane, I forgot Kane was her running mate, carried the county in 2025, getting 72% of the vote. Well, that's why they did it. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Why would it matter when you're already going to win 3/4 of the vote? Actually, the only way that probably Biden or Harris, whatever the hell her name is, and that guy, Walz, could lose is if people wised up and said, wait a second, why would we want to vote like the Seattle Storm? Why would we want to vote by a bunch of crazed people who are clearly biased and haven't paid attention? That'll never happen. People aren't that smart. But sometimes you learn what not to do from people. You do. You learn what to do from people many times, but sometimes, like if I were a guy in Seattle and the Seattle Storm endorsed it, I would want to look into what the Seattle Storm are all about. Now, clearly, they are about the values of murdering children, infants. That's what the Democratic Party is running on when they say women's reproductive rights or women's rights. That's what it is. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. So were I to be a guy in that town, I would wonder, is that platform enough to be president? And I would also look at my bank account, which I will give Biden credit. My retirement account's doing good, but I'm waiting for a bubble to burst. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, long story short, there is no way in hell that influences anything. Now, what's going to be interesting, are other teams in the league going to come out that way? I can't see the Indiana Fever doing that. State's going to go Republican. The Chicago Sky possibly could do that. I mean, what the hell? They've been doing stuff in Chicago forever. And frankly, Chicago always goes Democrat. It's back to Daly family. Now, by the way, I told you this on the show. Brandon Johnson, the new mayor of Chicago, dumber, more ineffective, wait for it, than Lori Lightfoot. I told you that's what people in Chicago told me, and we're seeing it. Anyway, hopefully more teams endorse somebody, and we can laugh at them as well. You think anyone will endorse Trump? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, man. See, Jeff Saturday, by all accounts, is a nice guy. Dominic Foxworth is a guy. But Jeff Saturday, when he went to coach the Colts a few years ago, I said this. Oh, man, two things. One, he backstabbed the hell out of Frank Reich. I got people telling me that left and right. That's one. So I didn't respect him. And then two, I heard his press conference. Me, I, me. Oh, man. That was an abject failure. I think he went 1-7. I think he also went, well, I don't know, like 3 in a million as a high school football coach. All the little girl reporters here in Indy were all excited. Oh, my God, Jeff Saturday's going to be back. This is going to be so great. He's so good. I'm like, really? Okay, let's see. No, it didn't work out. So whenever Saturday speaks on ESPN, I under eye. And when I under eye, things get serious. Anyway, on Get Up, two panelists and former NFL players, Jeff Saturday and Dominic Foxworthy, discussed Aaron Rodgers' latest appearance on the Pat McAfee show, criticizing Rodgers, criticizing his weekly appearance on the show. It's amazing, calling him hypocritical. And he should just throw touchdowns, man. Now, before I get into what these two dumbasses say, I got to tell you, you're the quarterback of the football team. If you don't talk, people are saying, well, see, he doesn't come out when things go bad. See, I told you he was a front runner. See, that's what they would do, particularly in New York. So Rodgers can't win either way. Two guys that are on a set, one who's there for DEI race purposes, and the other's there because, well, he tried to coach, got his ass kicked, and now he's back, jumping around like an idiot. They are being critical of Rodgers because Rodgers did say, we got to stop listening to you guys. Well, here's the difference. This isn't hypocritical. I'll explain in a minute. Man, throw some touchdowns. I get it. It's a leadership thing. Maybe it works for them in the locker room. But my guess is they're in the locker room like, man, don't throw it to the guys on the other color jerseys and throw some touchdowns. Boy, that's Mina Kimes level analysis right there. Man, if we were in a coffee shop in Seattle in the 70s and 80s, we'd be snapping our fingers, which is a sign of approval. Holy cow, is that good? Wow. That's some deep-ish, man. Wow. Okay. Here's Jeff Saturday. What you're saying, do your actions meet your words? Let's not listen to the media. He's not. I mean, this is where Jeff Saturday is really stupid. Like, really stupid. Let's not listen to the media. Let's not pay attention to them. But I'm going to go for an hour a clip, making extra cash to do that. Well, he's not listening to the media, you idiot. He's not. He's the media. He's having a conversation, and he dictates the terms. I mean, Jeff Saturday, what he's doing right here is what a lot of guys like to do. He's trying to make it, as Jeff Saturday seems to always do, about himself. Meaning, listen to what I'm saying. I'm being critical of Aaron Rodgers on ESPN. Aren't I good at my job? No, you're awful. As bad at that job as you were with the Colts. Here's why. He's not listening to the media, and any moron knows that when you play in New York and you're not going well, the media pounds you. Pounds you. And if you listen to that, it's going to affect some, not all. Some guys are like, yeah, I don't care. Others say, yeah, I don't care, but they do. What Rodgers is doing is he is the media. He's having a conversation. He's not reacting to media in the print or media on talk radio or media on Twitter. He's having a conversation that he has every week. It's no different than a coach. A coach says, we got to get the noise out of here. Remember Saban talked about rat poison? But what did Saban do every week? He had a mandatory press conference. I don't even know if it was mandatory. Every college coach doesn't want his players listening to the media. Don't be on X. Don't be on Facebook. Don't be on Instagram. Don't be on whatever. But he has to do an interview session. That's part of the job. You're the quarterback of the New York Jets. It's part of your job. You can't be out there when the team's good. So saying we got to stop listening to the media and doing a regular scheduled interview, it ain't the same thing. And these two idiots know it. But these two idiots are doing what you're supposed to do at ESPN. You play the hits. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. LeBron, the Cowboys, Aaron Rodgers. There's the hits. Every day you're going to get a dose of LeBron. Every day you're going to hear about the Cowboys. Every day you're going to hear about Aaron Rodgers. No different than back in the day. How many of us got tired of hearing about Brett Favre? He was one of the hits. The great stink, Mark Schlereth, was doing a radio show for ESPN. He was there. I was at ESPN. We're in the DoubleTree. We're sitting there. I go, Stink, why'd you leave that ESPN night job? He said, I got to tell you, I got tired of talking about Favre, LeBron, and the Dallas Cowboys. That's what you talk about at ESPN. So, in talking about the Jets, Saturday and Foxworthy did what they should do. Talked about Aaron Rodgers. But they're idiots. They know better. But you know what? You got to keep your job. Hey, Michele Beadle's feeling herself. I'm kind of digging it. The former It Girl with Colin Cowherd on whatever that really good show was called back in the day. Beadle is now somewhere with Mad Doggy. She's on Mad Dog Unleashed doing a show. A couple other shows as well. Good for her. I always liked Beadle. I did. I always thought she was kind of cool. She's not feeling sorry for Deshaun Watson, saying she would have been right there with the fans booing him during the injury. In fact, she would be booing Watson long before that. Here's Michele Beadle.
The fans think that because they pay their money, they can do or say whatever they want out loud. That's exactly what Deshaun Watson did. Mm-hmm. He did whatever he wanted, and then he paid some money to make a problem go away. I would have cheered my ass off. Here's the problem. I would have been booing Deshaun Watson the minute they brought him to Cleveland. Mm-hmm. The fans were put in a garbage situation. And if you talk to a lot of Browns fans, they don't like him. They never liked him. They hated the move by the organization, and they didn't want to be forced to cheer for this person who they don't find to be a decent human being. I think what the Cleveland Brown players did yesterday was reprehensible. You want to stand by your dude? You can do it with minimal words. What I don't need is you to canonize the guy in front of cameras and microphones and act like we are wrong for not liking him or that we are the world against Deshaun Watson. The way people feel about Deshaun Watson has nothing to do with his Achilles or his play as a quarterback.
Yep.
It has to do everything with what he has been accused and what he has settled with dozens of women for doing. And that's what we know of.
Yeah, I always wonder, and it's the same thing about Kobe Bryant. I always wonder why Kobe Bryant gets this great pass. I know he passed away, but I always thought that even before, like, this is a girl dad? Like, he was accused, and he settled a rape charge. And if you talk to this agent, or my brother did, I didn't, The word on the street is they knew he was such a predator, they told all the women employees not to come into work that day. But Kobe Bryant, somehow, even though he did the same thing as Watson, Kobe Bryant's a hero. It's kind of interesting. No, it's not interesting. It's amazing to me that that's the level. But Beadle can say that. I'm on both sides of this. I understand what Michele Beadle as a woman thinks and feels. I do. Understand it 1,000%. Not like he died out there. He tore his Achilles. People tear their Achilles every day. I also understand that it is kind of tough. I personally wouldn't do it. Michele would. I wouldn't. I wouldn't boo in the first place. I'm not a booer. I said it yesterday. I kind of sit there and I watch. Not really a cheer, except when Midgie Montero hit a grand slam. Game 1. I don't even know what game it was. In 2016, as the Cubs were on a run to the World Series. I don't know. It may have been Game 3. I don't know. But I know this. I cheered them, but I'm not really a cheer. Even when my son hit a half-court shot against Michigan State when they were number 1 in the country, I kind of went, oh, yeah. But I didn't go nuts. Anyway, I get why Beadle would. I get why women would. It's not my thing. I actually get both sides. And the players, I don't want to hear. You can't take what players say seriously. You just can't. If you do, you're kind of a fool. Players are going to say what they need. He's my brother. Shut up. More on Beadle. Sticking with Beadle, who I'm kind of digging these days. She then went on to claim that Bronny James's NBA debut was a manufactured moment in history, claiming she was not impressed and she thought it was ridiculous. A lot of people share that. A lot of people feel in the same way. This was the big thing, right? The entire day was centered around this manufactured moment of history that we finally got in the second quarter. I just want to remind you that there was a large and loud contingent of people when Russell Westbrook was chasing the triple-double record when it was sort of stat padding near the end. And they were like, this is fake history. This is manufactured history. Russell Westbrook made it to the league on his own, did that all by himself. If this isn't manufactured, I don't know what the word manufactured means. But again, not impressed, and I thought it was so ridiculous. Yeah, I get that too. I do. A lot of people felt that way. Kenny Smith didn't. Kenny Smith commented on Bron's debut, claiming anyone who criticizes Bronny just doesn't know ball. Okay. He was a McDonald's All-American. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop right there. He wasn't nothing. And so many McDonald's All-Americans, if you go down the list of McDonald's All-Americans, and Kenny actually played with it, Linwood Robinson, never played worth a damn. Just stop. Which means he's one of the top 20 prospects in basketball at his age, second-round pick. What a second-round pick means, ladies and gentlemen, is it means you're drafted strictly on potential. Your year is not your first year. It's summer after your first year. That's why they don't draft much. That's why they draft most second-round picks. His teammate, Isaiah Collar, the guy didn't have a great year at USC in terms of his standards or what was the expectation. He was drafted late in the first round. Well, look, with all due respect to Kenny Smith, he's full of crap. He did not make the McDonald's All-American team because he was one of the top 20 prospects. He made the McDonald's All-American team because the McDonald's All-American team is one of the most, if not the most, political honors a high school or college kid could get. Has nothing to do with being one of the top 20 prospects in the country. And it really has never had to do. In fact, I would argue the McDonald's All-American team, while it's America's most what's the right word? That and the NBA All-Star Game are the two games that I don't want to watch ever. It's garbage. The selection process is garbage. You go to Duke, you make the McDonald's All-American team. Your name is Bronny James, you make the McDonald's All-American team. Just stop it with that. Second-round pick, he wasn't going to be picked by anybody but his daddy's team. You know it, I know it. Let's not BS. I get what Kenny Smith's doing. He's probably friends with LeBron. Probably got a note from LeBron. Hey, man, appreciate you taking up for Bronny. I get it. We all get it. I'm not mad about it. Truth be known, I'm really cool with it. Why? I don't know. What the hell? LeBron James has enough equity in the league to be the first guy to do that. Michael Jordan's probably sitting there going, damn, I wish Jeffrey or Marcus was good enough. I'd have liked to have done that, although he may have retired before then. I can't remember. But anyway, long story short, I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at anybody defending it, and I ain't mad at Bronny, the Lakers, LeBron at all for doing it. Screw it. Looked like a good time to me. Yes, it's manufactured, and yes, it's a Nike commercial. That's all it is. During an appearance on Major League Baseball Network's High Heat talk show, New York Yankees general manager Brian Cashman addressed the long, by Yankee standards, run between titles. 15-year championship drought. Man, those of us in Chicago were like, really? That ain't no drought. That's like a sunny week. Anyway, saying the Yankees would have won earlier if it weren't for, wait for it, the Angels cheating in 17. Boy, do I like this. Let's hear from the beleaguered but vindicated Brian Cashman.
Give me your thoughts here of finally getting back and winning a pennant after a 15-year, I don't want to say drought, that's not fair, but you understand what I'm saying with the gap. How about winning the pennant? How's that mean to you? Let me hear.
It means a lot, and I hate the 15-year thing because it completely forgets and discounts that some other organization cheated us when we were all the way in the end. You know, if you knew what was going on, I don't think they would be advancing at that during that time thing. I think we would have been advancing. So I hate that 15-year thing because I don't think it accurately reflects history.
Oh, I like it. I mean, let's do it. Let's just bring it all to the table. Look, the Astros did cheat. They admitted it. Players got immunity. And it's all well and good, and I get it. Fanboys out there say, well, that's just an excuse. No, it's a reason. It's a big difference between an excuse and a reason. I say it all the time. Injuries, other teams cheating, that's a reason other teams lost. Cheating is not a victimless crime. I used to say it in college basketball all the time. Look, this guy cheating, not victimless. Guy doing steroids in the minor leagues. All of a sudden, there's two guys battling to be the starting second baseman of the New York Yankees down there in Double or Triple A. One guy decides to use steroids. He's cheating. Next thing you know, he's banging doubles off the wall, home runs. Guy that doesn't, still a second baseman, that's a slap hitter. Who gets promoted? The guy that cheated, did steroids. One guy's up in the bigs playing in Yankee Stadium, waving to the crowd. The other guy's selling insurance in Tacoma, dealing with Chaz. Nobody wants to be in Tacoma dealing with Chaz. Everybody wants to be in Yankee Stadium. I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Cheating in sports wins, period. Now, it's always won in college football. It's always won in college basketball. Always. And when I say always, I mean always. Hell, Calvin Sampson came to Indiana in 08. Listen to this. After putting Oklahoma on probation, Indiana hired him. He puts Indiana on probation. All right. Guess what? Sampson, who was in like the third year or second year of a mega deal, got paid $750,000 to go away on top of what he'd already made. Sits out a few years, and now he's at Houston, where I guarantee you, whatever the rules are, he's breaking them. There may be no rules, but if there are, he's breaking them. Cheating absolutely pays. Don't tell me cheaters win and winners never cheat. Brian Cashman right there is telling you. Winners cheat, they cheat more, and losers talk about it years later. Although I don't think Brian Cashman is a loser for talking about it. I really don't. There's a difference between excuses and reasons. All right. This is a story that I'm not sure how I feel about. I really would ask you how you feel about, but I'm going to give you my side. Penn State head coach James Franklin is catching heat for refusing to answer reporters' questions regarding two former Penn State players, Jameel Lyons and Kavion Keys, who are accused of rape while members of the football team. Now, this did not happen during the season. By all accounts, this happened back in the summer. Here's the exchange.
Guys, how we doing?
Good. This is obviously a serious and sensitive subject. I know Greg read that, but we haven't heard anything from you on this.
John, we released the university statement. All right, do I need to read the statement again?
If you would like.
All right. Regarding the two former Penn State football players, we released a statement yesterday, and our program and athletic department will have no further comment. If you need the statement, please reach out to me or Chris.
Hey guys, any questions?
James, at what point in the summer were you aware that these guys were not going to get on the team?
Again, guys, the university already released a statement. If you need the statement, reach out to me or Chris. We'll have no further comment.
Are there questions about Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There are questions about Wisconsin. Please keep your questions to Wisconsin.
Hey guys.
Hey, guys. Franklin handled that great. Yeah, you can bitch, whine, and moan about it, but let me ask you a question. What's he going to say? Seriously. You got an ongoing investigation. Penn State, if you remember, not so long ago, was dealing with a firestorm over the whole Jerry Sandusky thing. So what they did, I'm guessing, is put guidelines in place as a university. Not only, I would assume, not only the football, basketball, baseball, whatever, the athletic department, but I would assume across the university. Coaches et al., don't talk about it. We're going to stonewall it with an official statement, and that's it. I'm not going to lie to you. It's smart. People can bitch, whine, and moan about it, and I know they do, but it's smart. It's really smart. The only thing that James Franklin can do is put his foot in it. Is it insensitive to the victims? Probably, but I don't know how you can be sensitive to the victims in this instance. And you got to let it play out. I know it seems weird, and I know Franklin kind of handled it a little bit snippy and a little bit whatever, but he was not going to be caught at all in something he said coming back on him. Here's what people are saying. Things that run James Franklin off the field. Ohio State, Michigan, and tough questions. Well, good for Adam Winkler. Good for Adam Winkler saying that, but I got to tell you, I get it. Media gets mad when they don't get their questions answered. I totally get that. I understand it. But the truth of the matter is, Adam Winkler, it should run him off the field. It absolutely should. And if people don't understand that, that's fine. 2 decades on TV news, ABC Houston, proud alum. Okay, good. God bless you. James Franklin could have just said it's a legal matter, an open investigation, so I can't comment even if I'd like to. The optics of acting like a child by leaving before a question is finished is an embarrassing look. See, the only people that worry about embarrassing looks are guys like this guy, Dan Kelly. Nobody really gives a rat's ass when you're in the middle of it, of an embarrassing look. But I get it. That's a big thing for peoples. Hey, it's an embarrassing look. Well, Franklin would rather have an embarrassing look than he would, I assume, than have to come back and answer something for which he has said. Because many coaches, and frankly, Franklin is among them, you know what? They know they talk too much. Dan, of course, is a head writer at Pat's Football Now. No coach at any level has ever been as big of a jerk in an interview to me as James Franklin was. Oh, poor little Johnny Alba. Johnny, why should anybody not be a jerk to you, Johnny Alba? Why should anybody take you serious? You're not a serious guy. I know you're an Emmy Award winner. Yay, Rob. So what? So what? This is hardly shocking. See, these media guys don't care about what's true or not. They care about how you treat them. Nobody's ever been as big a jerk to me. Good. Now, you got to understand about John Alba here. Going to his Twitter, he's all about Sarah Spain, Mike Freeman, Trump, bad. What's his face? Good. What song, John Alba asked, should Beyonce and Bruce Springsteen duet for Kamala Harris? Yeah, well, whatever. Whatever, bro. Whatever. You know what? Now I got to root. Now I got to root for James Franklin. Because John Alba, what song is Beyonce and Bruce Springsteen going to duet for Kamala Harris. Yeah. Grow a pair, John. See, John's never been in that situation. I never have either, but John's never been in a situation. No one's ever been a jerk to me. He be mean to me, as my daughter used to say. Daddy, he be mean to me. Andrew, stop being mean to Laura. John Alba. I mean, the level of little bitch in the media world is astounding. These guys wear their tight little suits, walk around with their little beards, and think they're something. They can't play with themselves, much less a sport. But everybody's supposed to kiss their ass. Why? Because they're with Action News. I got 2 words, Action News. My ass. All you Action News guy or Patriot blogger boys, suck it. That's right. Suck it. I'm not defending anybody. I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying James Franklin, from a coaching perspective, was not going to get himself drawn into something that he cannot win. Cannot win. Now, you may tell me that he should have talked about the victims and all that. Can't do that. There's state laws. There's an investigation going on. Well, then he should have said that. No, he shouldn't. They clearly said at Penn State, this is our statement. And Johnny Alba and all the little D-bags that dress for shit when they come to their jobs, I mean, look at these clowns. Anyway, they don't deserve squat. Well, what about our listeners, our viewers? Shut up. They can put it out on the Penn State freaking Twitter account or the James Franklin Twitter account and get more views than Action News in Harrisburg will ever get. John Alba. He's mean to me. Hey, suck it. Anyway, we come back. It's that time. It's that time when 3 grown-ass white men argue like crazy people. That's right. I said it. Argue like morons. And I have no control over what happens next, except they say, shut up and listen. It's shot clock violation. We got Caitlin Clark, Kamala Harris, Cap, Otani. What? Got a lot going on. Just keep it right here.